Hello, PTTU. This is Savannah Peterson, your Director of Marketing and Physician Relations. Happy New Year. Welcome to 2026. I thought that it would be appropriate today to do a little bit more of a motivational type training because really this is so important. You didn't come this far just to come this far. You've gotten this training, you've chosen this path, not to stay stuck, but really to progress your practice and what you've recognized in yourself that is possible through PTTU. And so I wanted to kind of touch on some of these things that may seem nuanced, but are truly valuable in shaping up your practice and continuing to grow month over month and year over year as we move into this new season of 2026. So just to remind you, our goal is to not have you stay stuck in any way, to keep seeing the same two patients or one referral month to month. We really want to continue to see you capitalize on the growth that you really have the potential to supersede. And a part of that is just a reminder, like, this is not to overwhelm you at all. It's to remind you that we don't want you to be dependent on systems that in the past have drained you, but you chose this because at some point you recognize that what you were doing before is not really fitting, and you're honest enough to recognize that and to shift into a role where you are really managing your own practice. So for today, what's our goal here? Our goal with PTTU is to choose more autonomy, more control over your time, control over the types of patients that you're seeing to align more with the work that is who you are and how you are, to be able to really put that into patients' lives and then hopefully grow an entire community worth of patients that can't stop raving about you. And today is really about remembering that, because when we forget our why, even the small things like meeting with me for a 20 to 30-minute call can kind of feel heavy and overwhelming. So I'd like for us just to really take a moment to pause and think back on the moment that you decided that you wanted to be a part of PTTU. You decided that you wanted to build your own caseload. What in that moment wasn't working? And what were you no longer really willing to tolerate? Was it the fact that you were feeling burnt out? What was it? That reason that you decided to join PTTU has not disappeared. That still lives in some aspect. And sometimes it gets a little bit quieter when you get busy and when life gets busy. But here's what I need all of us to truly clarify and hear clearly: that building your dream caseload does not require endless effort. All it requires is one full protected hour each week to donate to your marketing. If you can at least do one full hour a week, not squeezed in, not multitask, not skipped, but one intentional hour, you will undoubtedly build momentum. In my world and job prior to PTTU, I experienced this a lot, where people in the marketing realm would kind of get going. They get a patient or two patients and they're like, it's not really sticking. But it's really like right when you're there and you're starting to recognize it, maybe I can do this, but it seems like a far reach. That's actually when you're the closest and you're the most capable of really making it happen. And it doesn't require this daily grind that you're used to. It doesn't require sacrificing your life. It just requires being intentional. So I'm going to talk about what would an intentional, if you only had an hour a week to marketing. Of course, for me, I'd love to see you be doing it 4 or 5 hours a week, because that's going to be able to build your caseload a lot quicker, because you have all of that time underneath your belt that you're putting out in the field. But let's just say you only have 1 hour a week. I want you to treat this hour with the utmost regard, just like you would a patient, to do things that actually build momentum. What is this? This is office visits. It is communication with home care agencies, showing up, making the meetings, attending the meetings, sending text messages, making phone calls, following up, and ultimately being visible and known. This is really I see a lot of our therapists kind of getting stuck in this in between, I don't know, am I visiting too much? Really, it's going to be challenging for you to do too much. If anything, I feel like we're all right on that scoreboard where we can be doing just a little bit better. Let's shift from that perspective where, okay, well, I'm just going to fit it in where I can, to be consistent about just an hour a week. Letting people know who you are, what you do, and who you are wanting to help. That is the end goal. Marketing and sharing your services with the community is not busy work. This is relationship building. This is how your caseload grows. Every therapist that has become successful with PTTU has only become successful because they have been consistent in building their connections within the community. Now, the reason this hour sometimes, or whatever marketing that you're putting into your practice, can feel hard, it's just because it feels unfamiliar. It's not because it's taking too much time, it's because it feels unfamiliar. And when you're doing it, you're working a little bit out of your comfort zone. You're used to seeing your patients and having those patients, kind of put onto your schedule instead of deciding the kinds of patients that you want to see. So sure, yes, it's different than what I think like as therapists you're trained to do, but unfamiliar does not mean unsafe. It does not mean impossible, and it definitely does not mean ineffective. Small, consistent action done weekly will always outperform the bursts of intensity that you have with marketing, followed by 2 to 3 weeks of no follow up and ultimately burnout. And so this isn't about like hustling. It's really just about building a practice that ultimately on the back end, guys, this is supporting you. And so every time you show up for your hour, whatever you can consistently and diligently put into your schedule, I want you to remind yourself that you're choosing in that hour your future you. You're choosing to be that therapist that decided to join us at first. A therapist with options, a therapist with flexibility, and ultimately a therapist that has autonomy in their practice. So I'm going to kind of turn the tables around and really like leave it up to you guys. And I want you to be decisive about this. Like, what is that 1 hour block a week that you can consistently do? When is it and where does it live on your calendar? Because that needs to be something that lives on your calendar and you show up every single week like, this is what I'm doing, this is how I'm doing it, and you show up with a precise plan. Treat it like a patient session because this is a commitment to yourself and the life that ultimately you really want and to become successful. So that's the beauty of this. Keep it consistent, keep it simple, and keep it laser focused. This isn't about perfection. It's not about being perfect in how you market. It's just about being yourself and being consistent, ultimately. Consistency is a word I probably use in every training with all of us, but it's just like, how can we build this momentum without truly saying, every single week, I put at least an hour into my future self? You can't. So I'm going to kind of continue this journey and send us all an email that talks a little bit about this so we can really ponder where that 1 hour a week is going to go onto our schedules consistently, and or maybe a click. But I really want this to be like of the utmost importance, just like getting that first patient on your schedule is. Like this is a non-negotiable for your marketing adventure moving through 2026. If you want to be better than you were at this point last year, and at this point where you're sitting right now watching this video, this is a non-negotiable. So if you protect this 1 hour a week, every single week, this thing will grow. 100% it will grow. Every therapist that has seen it grow can absolutely nod their heads at this small gesture. And that's the beauty of it. It's a small gesture, but it's a huge gesture, like a huge hug to your future self. And really, the only thing that is stopping you is forgetting why you started or choosing not to show up for yourself. So stay firm in continuing to choose yourself, choosing this journey of being a part of PTTU, and continue to really hone in on this clear reminder that this works when you continue to show up for it. This hour that you're going to spend every week, this is not admin time. This is not patient notes. This is not squeezed in between patients where it's like, oh, all right, well, I got 50 minutes and I'm scatterbrained and I got to go to this next patient, but all right, maybe I have 20 minutes. No, it has to be at least an hour where you're intentionally focusing on being visible, staying consistent, and talking to the people that have supported you and gotten you to the point that you are already. Because clearly you recognize that you can do this. You've already stepped into the role. You've got some patients underneath your belt, or maybe you're so close to that first patient, like you can feel it. And for all of us, we're there. You joined us for that reason. So really, like, this is, again, this is not busy work. This is the commitment to the reason that you started. This is the autonomy that you want. And this is for the version of you that did not want to burn out, or the version of you that has burnt out in the past, that recognizes that and decides that is not for me. Like, I can have the work-life balance. I can really have it all. And that is exactly why PTTU exists. It's exactly why we're PT owned and operated, because we recognize that and that value, that intrinsic value in our clinicians. So please continue to use my phone number as a resource. Put it on speed dial, call me any day, anytime. I'm here for you and I want to see you become successful. But ultimately, this 1 hour a week, I can't force you to do it. You've got to take the reins and do it on your own. But I will be here to cheer you on every step of the way, to guide you, to coach you, to help you find these new targets and new ideas to keep finding ways to make your practice successful. So good luck. Keep consistent, and I look forward to seeing you guys soon.